Hey guys, it is Calm the Chaos with capital M asterisk RDERY, Season 1, Episode 2. At least in Central Time Zone in the United States, it is almost 1 in the morning, so I'm going to go ahead and do this now. We're going to talk about disabilities and how not every single disability is the same, and how people need to educate themselves on disabilities just across the board. Okay, for example, when I was born with spastic hemiplegia, which is a type of cerebral palsy. There are many types of cerebral palsy, and I was taken to 3 different doctors before I was diagnosed, and I went to Shriners in St. Louis from the ages of 3 to 18 and had 5 correctional surgeries. The first on my left leg and the first on my arm when I was 8, 11, and the last 2 when I was 15. Okay, when it comes to disabilities, they're very different. Just like a human is different from another human, and the way they get sick, the way they talk, the way they look, everything about them is different to a certain degree. So is disability. My type of disability is not the same as another person's disability. And I think this is an important thing to talk about, considering the most recent controversy with the man who has Tourette's during the BAFTA Awards. Again, disability, I don't claim to know. I'm not a medical expert. I'm not. I'm not a medical expert when it comes to cerebral palsy. I'm an expert when it comes to myself. And I know the things about myself because not only did I've been a strong advocate for myself for as long as I can remember, but I read medical journal articles. I try to be as informed, and I don't make assumptions. You know, the expression, you make an ass of you and me, that there's a reason why that expression is true. Most people will make assumptions about what they consider normal, what is supposed to be considered the status quo, what is right, what is wrong. The thing is, people with disabilities, it's not the same. Like, for example, my cerebral palsy, while I have some scarring on my brain, me myself, it affected me more my muscular system as well as my nerves and my immune system. Those were the main 3 areas that hit. If you look at the video I posted of me as a baby, a lot of y'all didn't notice, but I barely moved my left arm. I had very small range of mobility, and I was still years away from having my first surgery on my arm at this point. And they broke that thing so many different ways, twisted it, you name it. My last 2 surgeries, they broke every single bone, twisted 180 degrees, and from shoulder down to my wrist. I have very little range of motion when it comes to my left side. Everything I have learned to do, I've had to adapt and learn pretty much one-handed. I am not one, I'm okay with questions about my disability. Perfectly content with it. I don't mind people asking me. It's when people make assumptions about my disability that makes me very, very, very frustrated. And there are 2 words that have been used colloquially in the English language, crippled and retarded, and both of those words make me very, very angry. If you want to see raging capital M asterisk RDERY and its biggest, say those words to me and you'll see what happens. I will full stop come at, I will, yeah. It makes me very mad. And it also makes me mad when people make assumptions based off of another person's disability because they don't understand it. You know how many times in my history I have explained to specialists, medical specialists, the concept of disability, especially my disability, because they didn't study it in school. I truly believe that disabilities should be studied as young as grade school. So kids, when kids at a young age are taught what disability looks like in other people, they don't grow to have prejudice or treat people like, oh, you're different, that means I have to treat you like you're less than. I wish that it was taught in schools. Like, I feel like children need to be educated about what it is to to know someone who is disabled, what it's like to be disabled. I did not understand my disability when I was a kid. I didn't, because there were so many people around me who didn't know what it is, who didn't know. I had teachers, because of my mom, I had teachers who would be like, okay, no, Danielle, no, try it. And if you can't, okay. They pushed me, didn't let me hold myself back because of my disability. And I'm thankful, because everything I've accomplished in spite of all my health stuff. Speaking of health stuff, like I said, my disability affects me more, my immune system. So when I say I'm sick, I'm always sick. But what I mean is I'm more sick than I usually am. Like, for example, I am sick, like full blown. I have a virus and I have been sick. Like yesterday, I threw up. It was a whole thing, and I'm still dealing with that. When people ask me how I'm doing, I usually tell them I'm managing, because most people don't understand. I'm sick all the time, just varying forms of it. Like there's the kind of sick, like, oh, it's just annoying, kind of like people with sinuses. And then there's the kind of sick that you feel like you're going to, and you're like laying on your toilet, like because you haven't left the bathroom in like hours. There's varying degrees of sick, just like there are varying degrees of disability. I hate when people make assumptions about disabilities. And I'm seeing that so much right now, especially with the case with the man who has Tourette's during the BAFTAs. Like, I don't know a lot about Tourette's, but I know enough that it's very obvious he didn't do it on purpose. He didn't. I know he didn't. He would have to be insane too, considering the room he was in, the room that he was in when it would happen. And I think the only reason why America knows it, well, the world knows about it, is because the guy who edited the BAFTAs only had enough time to edit it and air it before, people could watch it. And it was something the guy missed when editing the video. People make mistakes, like human error. Like, I don't blame this editor dude. Like, the man who has Tourette's was not intending to say the things he said. And it's not like he's saying things that are deep down in his soul. You have no control of it. Oh, you have no control over it. If you look at the trailer that was made about the man, and the reason the movie that was created about the man, it was being honored at the BAFTAs. Like, it was nominated. Like, if you watch that trailer, you like through, you can kind of tell. You have an idea of like how it looks like for people who have Tourette's. Again, I don't know anything about Tourette's. I'm not going to claim to. It just, as someone who has a disability, and Tourette's is a kind of disability. Again, disability can be used in many different ways to describe many different ailments and injuries and the things that people affect them. And my disability obviously is cerebral palsy. Like, if I didn't have this disability, I wouldn't say a word. I wouldn't say a word, because again, the climate we're in. But as someone who has been misunderstood my entire life and had assumptions made in my behest, I'm telling you right now, just take the time to ask the questions. Take the time to learn before you make assumptions. Like, for me, like, you can ask me any question you want. If I'm uncomfortable with it, I'm going to tell you so. But there's not many things I'm uncomfortable with when it comes to my disability. There are things, and again, like I said, every disability is different. And that's why I want to make this episode about understanding disabilities, how people should study and learn about them, even medical professionals who don't, like I said, like the specialist. Like, the specialist learned it for like a second in med school, and then that's it. Like, I feel like if it is tied to your specialty in any way, shape, or form, you should learn about it. Like, obviously, cerebral palsy is neurological, and is like brain, nerves, musculature, and ortho is bones. Well, my disability mostly affects my internalness, my musculature, as well as my bones and my brain. So, yeah, I'm running out of time. I have like 9 seconds. So thank you for watching. If you have questions, ask. Don't be ashamed of who you are. Accept yourself wholly. Love you. Bye.